On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a trolley at the brewery. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 hockey gloves and a trolley at the brewery. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 5th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, everybody, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 snowstorms coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 children skiing, 6 storms are coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 train cars trucking, 7 children skiing, 6 storms are coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing, 8 train cars chugging, 7 children skiing, 6 storms is coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 lords are drinking, 9 ladies dancing, 8 trains are chugging, 7 children skiing, 6 5 chicken riggies. I'm still fucking going. 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 cannolis singing, 10 lords are drinking, 9 ladies dancing, 8 trains are chugging, 7 children skiing, 6 storms are coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 tomato pies, 11 cannolis singing, 10 lords are drinking, 9 ladies dancing, 8 trains cars chugging, 7 chicken screaming, 6 snowstorms coming, 5 chicken riggies, 4 turkey joints, 3 Italian cookies, 2 hockey gloves, and a trolley at the brewery.
Yeah.
Only on the D.
How about that, dude? A little flashback for you, Justin.
Yeah. I don't know where I got the air to do that. I really don't. Well, I mean, it was a few years back and a couple of thousand cigarettes ago, but...
Oh, man, you killed it, though. And I loved how you went through all the voices. That was back, I looked it up, it was December of 2017.
2017. I was right after my son was born. Like, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, December 7th.
It's nice to see that I didn't grow up. I had a kid and didn't grow up. It's great.
Also, shout out to Angela Johnson and Gia. They wrote that song. They're the ones that wrote that. And the very next day in 2017, Ryan Quinn came in and did it.
Yep.
And it was great because Ryan did it. But it wasn't what you did, bro. No offense to Ryan, but it just kind of, you hit it because you went through all those voices and all those characters. It was fantastic. Yeah. The 12 Days of Utica Christmas.
Oh my God, just out
spot on.
It was great.
Out of control.
I thought you knocked it out of the park. I'm going to play it for the next couple of shows. We got it.
Appreciate that.
We got it. It's great. It's classic. Flashback. What's up, everybody? It's Local Music Monday.
Hey, I'm here.
You are here, bro. It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too.
Made it.
I'm
I
glad
apologize. I apologize that I haven't been on. I've had stuff going on, and apparently 20 minutes is a long way for me to drive to get here. And we've been trying to make it work via Zoom and stuff, but it hasn't been working.
I got something up with my system. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. I need to figure it out.
I got an IT guy in the band now. We call him a big giant nerd. His name's Mike Sales. I'll get him down here.
Send him.
Look at it.
Send him
right
over
down
here.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
send
got
him
a
right down.
voice like an angelical angel.
Dude, you're not kidding, man.
Man, that guy
Good.
can hit the
So
pipes.
I got a quick story for you. I know you got to go through all the sponsors and stuff, but this quick story. We were playing at Vernon Downs. We started doing the Game of Love by Michelle Branch. My wife is watching us, okay, but she's not watching us because she's paying attention to the slot machine that she's currently playing. The song starts. We start playing, start singing. All of a sudden, she just stops the slot machine. She stood up, had to walk over to see who was sitting in with the band, then realizing that it was actually Mike singing Michelle Branch. And she literally thought it was a girl that we had called up on stage.
That's solid falsetto then.
Oh,
yeah.
he kill it.
Yeah, well, most of it's not falsetto. Most of it's all his full voice, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I love when you guys do Jane.
Oh yeah.
I love when he knocks that song out.
We do "Fooled Around and Fell in Love" too, which is another Mickey Thomas song that he did with Elvin Bishop. He was a backup singer for Elvin Bishop, and he came. That's how Starship actually found him, was through Elvin Bishop.
Oh wow.
So that's how he kind of got started. But we do both of those songs, and he really does sound a lot like Mickey Thomas, which is cool. But he used to cover back. He had a band called Build a Cat. Sales did.
I remember Build
and
a Cat.
used to cover like Whitney Houston songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
just
I remember
belt them.
Wild.
Yeah.
Did a lot of Pearl Jam too back in the day. I remember Build a Cat.
I think that he had to do all that stuff just to prove to everybody that he was male.
It was popular.
Sorry, was I not supposed to say that?
No,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you can.
All right.
The guy can hit it.
Sorry, I don't mean to offend anybody.
Make sure you go out there and check out Showtime when they're playing at your local establishment. Freaking kill it. The best harmonizing band in upstate New York, hands
Oh,
down.
shucks.
Oh, shucks. We got to go through some sponsors here. We got to talk about our sponsors. We got a lot of great sponsors. If not for the sponsors, this podcast isn't possible. I got to give a big shout out to EJA Moving Services, the professional movers. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up Eddie and his crew at 315-335-0516, EJAmoving.com. They'll pretty much move you anywhere, any place, anytime. They give you boxes. They pack them up. They bring those boxes wherever you need to bring them. Simple. They're great people, man. Check them out. Also, shout out to Billy, the liquor guy. You want a great book to read? You want to get yourself wrapped up into a book about drugs and bombs and criminals and agents that brought all the bad guys down. It's called Under Too Long. It's by Billy the Liquor Guy. You can check it on Amazon or wherever you get your books, or you can log on to billytheliquorguy.com. Shout out to Grabski over at Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. You guys want a good meal this week? Call them today for some reservations, 315-864-3527. Thank you to Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery. Shout out to Chillin' with the Rick. We got to give him a big shout out. Are you going on a show soon or something? Or playing
January, I think.
January?
Yeah, I'm gonna go play.
Yeah.
I'll be there in February.
And you're
Yeah.
there in
Yeah.
February?
Cool. Yeah.
You're
That's
going to
cool.
play some music and stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. That'd be good. So
I might crash Justin's
Dude,
party.
you should. It'd be fun. Like everybody's like, oh, I want to. Everybody that's talking about it too is like, oh, I don't want to come because it's Justin's time and everything. I'm like, no, everybody come.
Yeah.
Everybody come. Let's hang out. We'll have a few beers. We'll eat some pizza. We'll shoot the shit. When do we ever get a chance to do that? If you want to come and hang out, Anthony, you should come too.
Well, every time I show up, you don't turn on the mics.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's got a little bit
He
of a
keeps them
problem
on
with
mute the whole time.
Yeah.
I spewed off some inspirational shit last time.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, it
like
was
heart
great.
to heart. It
Yeah.
was great, and you didn't have the mics
that.
on.
Didn't have the
whole time.
mics on at all.
I was on that day too. I was feeling the
Yeah.
vibe, Mike.
Feeling the vibe.
I was.
It's the-
teach him some good shit.
I was trying to, I'm trying to mold him.
Yeah.
And it just didn't even have the mics on.
Well, maybe that's where you should start.
Michael Phoenix Hart, my old pal's in the house with me. How you doing?
Pretty good.
You brought
pretty
your
good.
wife with you.
Yep.
Yay.
The beautiful Melinda.
Thank you.
Have you guys been playing music together for a while?
We have.
Yeah. That's kind of how we met, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So cool.
About 10 years.
Yeah.
How did you meet?
Well, we were playing in a band, Vagabond Station, with Rich Smith and our old friends. And I sat in. I came back into town, and they were like, hey, come sit in on this gig. I sat in on the gig. And I liked playing with them, so I played with them a couple of other shows, and I was like, who is the cute girl in the back playing keyboards? And then over a period of time in the band, I was like...
It was Rich Smith.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
It was Rich. We love you, Rich. We love you.
Shots one up from Melinda.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Should I move over here? Closer.
I was thinking about putting them together. I'm like, wait, that's Justin's seat, though.
It's all right, though. Not married to a seat. I might cry a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah, so that's how we met, and we've been together ever since, and we've been playing music ever since too. So we've been in multiple bands together, and we're still in the band together. Yeah,
Rocking out.
Yeah.
So cool.
The Brothers Grimm Band.
the Brothers Grimm band now. Yep.
Where's that name come from?
Well, me and Rich started doing the Brothers Grimm duo. That's what we did acoustically for almost 10 years.
Yeah, that was a long time, right? I remember them.
Yeah,
Remember you guys, I should say.
we were together. I think we were doing acoustic duo for almost 10 years. Don't quote me on that, though, because time's not my thing. But
Must be a musician thing.
yeah, yeah. Just yesterday, I was 20. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, let's form a band. We had some friends of ours that were ready to gig out, so we formed the band. And then the band worked out for a year, and we had a whole bunch of gigs and stuff lined up. Some of the guys had to leave for personal reasons and stuff. And I was like, well, we got to find some people to play. You know what I did? I jumped on Craigslist, which almost never works out for me. And I found a bass player and a drummer out of nowhere who had both consigned to not playing music ever again.
Wow.
And for some reason, their family members were like, well, you should just go on Craigslist. And they saw my ad, and they're like, this looks legit. And so we've had Tony for 6 years now. Wow. We've had Tony.
Oh, yep.
And
so awesome.
And now we have a new bass player. We've had him for a couple years now, Jason Fuller, who's played with Mixed Brew and Homely Jones and a handful of other bands. And Melinda's not always, she's not always like, she always comes with the band because I come with the band. In fact, there's been bands where she's been like, I'm not playing with that band. And I'm just like, okay, that means we don't have it. And then when she's like, I want to play with this band, that's when I know the band has it.
Oh.
It's not,
Makes sense.
It's inspiration, not necessarily pickiness or judgmental, but it's when it's an inspiration thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, she's also, went to school or college for music. She was a music teacher.
Oh, sweet. Where's
Very cool.
I went to Crane up in Potsdam. Yep. Yep. Piano major up there, and
Potsdam good.
Potsdam good. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great school though.
It is. Yeah.
Fun little party town too back in the day.
I mean,
don't know
it's
how it is. It's still the same.
I mean, it's frigid. It's cold, and you got 4 colleges right within the area. So partying is pretty much the weekend. And
our
all
first
in
keyboard
between.
player went to St. Lawrence. We were up there a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys played up there a bunch?
We didn't play up there. No, we just had to go pick his ass up to bring him back to play. So we would drive the 2.5 hours, 3 hours up there, get him, come back home, play the weekend, and then drive his ass back on Sunday night.
Wild.
Yeah, those are some fun rides.
Is that the Java Barn? Right? Is that up there, or that's St. Lawrence?
That might be St. Lawrence.
That's St. Lawrence. Okay.
Yeah, because wait, you got St. Lawrence, Crane, Potsdam, Clarkson.
And then SUNY Canton is just down the
SUNY
road.
Canton,
So you've got
that's
the
right,
4 of them all together.
4 of them all together.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. And I mean, what's there to do there except for drink, right?
Yeah.
Really not,
And go to
not much.
Canada.
Go to Canada, right? Yeah.
Canada, yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Canada, Vermont.
We'll play hockey. There's all those schools are really good at hockey.
Yeah. I was going to go to Crane, but I decided not to be a teacher. So,
Melinda, did you grow up here?
I did. Yep.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Oneida area.
Oneida?
Yep.
And then went out there for school and came back?
I did. Yep. And
Very
I
cool.
taught for 16 years. And now, similar to Mike's sales, I work in IT and technology now. So I made a jump from music to technology. So,
Wow.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
And then you did the opposite. You went from IT to music, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, no, I've always been music, but it's just I was always interested. As a matter of fact, Mike Sales created. He was helping out the IT department in Ilion where I went to school. I was in 8th grade, and This goes to show you how much older he is than me. I'll throw that out there. He was helping out the he looks way better than I do, though. I look way older than he does. But anyway, so I'm in 8th grade, and he's helping the IT department bring in their new email system. Email was brand new, so we had Pegasus Mail. He brings it in.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He brings it in, and he's helping them set it all up. Well, my friends and I decided that we would hack into this brand new email because they set the password for all the teachers as PW. Enter, done. We got everything. It was like we were looking at anything that they had coming in, everything, like tests, freaking everything. We were like, hallelujah. And then we all got in trouble. So, but anyway, Mike was the one that did that. I'm like, I'm surprised you still have a job because an 8th grader just hacked you. I'm like, oh, it's funny. But yeah, so that was my connection to Mike from before. But anyway, when I worked at Apple, that was just a friend of mine. They were looking for people, and it was a way different company back then when I worked retail there. Because it was cool. They were all artists and musicians and stuff, and it's very hard to find retail that'll work around a schedule. And I told him, I said, my main job is music. This is my part-time gig, working here. So that will always take precedence. Oh, no, we're good. So I worked there for 6-7 years, and then they were like, yeah, so we just don't think it's fair that you don't work weekends.
I do, just not here.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm like, okay. Is there anything we could do? They're like, well, we're really gonna have. It was like Office Space. Remember that movie?
Yeah,
Office Space. It was like, yeah, we're gonna have you come in on Sunday. That whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. Because I never get like the drive to Syracuse and stuff from the Valley. It was gonna be like I get maybe 30-40 minutes of sleep after a gig. This is before COVID, so we were still playing until 2:00. I mean. Now I probably could do it because we end at like 12 midnight, whatever.
Yeah.
And but back then I couldn't do it. So
the drive out of the Valley to Syracuse, though, it's crazy. That's a crazy haul.
It's a haul. It was about an hour and 10 minutes to get to work and back every day. Work hour and 10 up, hour and 10 back, and I would try not to work 4-hour shifts. I'd try to work 6, 7, 8-hour shifts, so it felt like it was worth it for me. But then I realized that I could make more in one gig playing solo than I did in a week and a half there. And that was after factoring in gas and food when I was there. And what? It didn't matter if I packed the lunch. I still, for some reason, spent the same amount of money every week. It didn't matter. So it's just, siphoning money just to go work for this company. And I'm like, nope.
Yep, it's not happening.
I want to rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly.
It's much more fun.
Yeah,
and it's 2 days a week.
Yeah,
2 days a week.
Now I'm in my 40s, and I'm playing more than I ever have, and I'm more tired than I ever have been. So, yeah.
Melinda, when you got out of college, did you start playing in bands locally, or
Not much. It was more of a classical route. So I played a lot
Gotcha.
with, I played solo at places like Jan and Dassis or where it was more classical or light jazz type of mood music in the background.
Oh, cool.
And then once I joined the crew with Vagabond, that's when I started to branch into playing with a group in that setting. And it was a really...
Cool.
It's a great learning experience. It's interesting coming from classical because if you're studying piano in a classical sense, it's very exacting. You spend hours and hours and hours, usually on your own, working every single note and every single hit. And then you move into a setting with a band, and it opens up in such a beautiful way. So you can be exact and really work on your skills, but then you get to open up and be in the moment and be creative and build something and get in that pocket in the moment. So that was my favorite reason. That's why I caught that bug coming out of that. So classical roots with rock and roll soul. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
It's like Phil Lesh always says, like all those mistakes open up to all these possibilities, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's got to be fun to improv, because you said it, classical is pretty regimented, right?
It is.
It's
Very.
very structured and stuff like that. So then you open up a little bit,
Yes.
get loose,
Yep.
improv a little bit. That shit's fun.
Sure.
And then you're with some improving kings over here. Right?
But you learn how to feel in essence because you're so regimented. You're reading from a sheet. You're being told, pianissimo, really quiet. You're being told how to play. Whereas with a band and with rock music and whatever music you're playing, but contemporary music, you would say, you're able to feel what another person's doing and play off of that person. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I played in an orchestra and you don't feel with an orchestra because you're so worried about
Technicality.
playing the technicality of it. I mean, maybe you're feeding off the person next to you, but in my
It
very
is.
rarely, you were just trying to get
And you're bringing to life the interpretation of a composer from
Yes,
long ago. So
exactly.
you're taking everything that's there and you're building something, but it's something that has already been created. So
Right.
you're more of a medium in that sense. Whereas in this sense, you have that technical skill,
Yeah.
but you're using it in a way on purpose. You're
Sure.
making that technical choice so that you can be expressive
Exactly.
in the
Yep.
moment because it's coming from your own soul, not from the soul of a long dead Beethoven or something.
Right,
like
and
that.
plus you get to see, like, if you do something, you get to see him like look at you and go, yes,
Yep.
and that help, or
the best vibe,
or
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah, or no.
no, not that.
Do not throw another organ solo at me, please. I'm known for just being like, organ solo, piano, or bass solo, drum solo. The guys are always like, dude, how many solos? We counted how many solos I threw in one night, and I was like, that was the greatest gig I ever played. You didn't play much because you kept throwing solos to everybody. Everybody had solos like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, I thought everybody loved it. And they're
Meanwhile, everybody's fingers are bleeding.
yeah. Yeah.
There's no better feeling in the world, though, when you're in the pocket and you're
God,
looking
yeah.
around and everybody's smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's no better than sex or drugs or
Yep.
anything. And you're just feeling, and it's just muscle memory going. And, you could just freaking do whatever you want. And you're just playing along.
And it feels the same too. Whether if you see everybody smiling, it feels the same as when people's eyes are shut and they're just grooving in the pocket.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
the same feeling. You know what I
Yep.
mean? You're just like, oh wow,
Uh-huh.
But on the other end, it's way worse when you don't have that feeling and everybody's staring at you because you just messed up. That's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
But
I'm used to that one.
me too. Yeah.
Hopefully that the technical stuff that you did know
Right.
saved your ass for whenever you messed up.
Yeah.
I'm always big on like I have my go-tos.
Yep.
Like cuz I'm playing rhythm and lead and singing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have my go-tos. If I'm like, "Oh crap, I'm losing it." I'm like, my standard.
Yeah, right.
You know,
fall back into that. Yes, exactly.
And I can still feel the pocket and groove with my standard. But then those moments where like everybody is gelling in the pocket, that's when afterwards I'll get a talking to like, you made that ramble on solo 10 minutes long. And I was like, dude, I was not here. I was completely somewhere else.
Yep.
Me, Jimmy Page, and Eric Clapton were hanging out backstage having a good time talking about my skills. That's what was happening.
Shit, yeah.
That was what was happening in that 10-minute solos. And then
Hell
I opened my eyes and saw all you guys looking at me like, hello, can we end the song?
Hey, you wake up. Wait, oh, Mike,
Hello.
Earth the mic.
Yeah. The drummer goes da 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 da, and I'm like, oh, we're ending now. Yeah.
Hand the joint back to Jimmy Page and get back to the stage.
But there's such a transportation when you have the skills and the people. And I've read Phil Lesch's book on the Grateful Dead. I've read Fish's book. I've read all the books when they talk about how whatever they did, whether it was acid or experimenting with music or whatever it was that got them to the place where they could gel in such a way that everybody else disappeared and it was a band for a moment. And we do it sober every Sunday. And it's amazing to think that back in the day we used to get really drunk and smoke a lot and then be like, okay, now we're ready to play.
Sure.
And now it's
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah, and now we do it sober every Sunday, and then when we go play out, we'll each have a couple beers or whatever. But it's again, that pocket is so much more intoxicating than anything else that I've done or felt. So
Yeah.
Did you guys hit it off musically instantly? Or did it take a minute?
I think
I'm
so.
talking musically, not personally.
I think so. I mean, it was pretty immediate, and I was more in a place still where I was getting used to that feeling, and not being like, okay, we're going to play the A section, the B section, the C section. We're going to repeat it 3 times, and then we're going to end on this chord at this point. And I worked really hard to get out of that because that's not the greatest in terms of a band setting.
Right.
So I think when we first met, it was really refreshing to have him and the other band members who had that freedom and that ability to be more flexible. And so I found myself learning from them. And we still do. There's a lot of times where I'm throwing out all the theoretical terms, and we work on our own language to meld those things together. So I'm not saying like I'm going to do the Mixolydian chord and then I'm going to end here, and that doesn't transfer as much. So, but absolutely hit it off.
I
Immediately
think that's why we
musically.
hit it off too. Was just because I was like, damn, she knows a lot more about music than I do. I'm like, what are you doing over there? Like, show me how to do that.
Sure.
And then like that came to be like a lot of our conversations.
But I had I had a lot of respect for all of the musicians I was playing for. I wasn't coming at it from a sense that because I had a master's or a theory degree, things like that. I didn't think that because of that I knew more. And so when you have, if you can get rid of that type of block, you can really engage with all of the musicians around you, and you can learn. I've learned so much from playing with all of these musicians.
I'm sure you learned a lot from her too.
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day.
Every rehearsal, every practice. She's like, well, you love playing the seventh notes. You should try the fifth sometimes.
He had a tendency to play a chord and he'd throw a sixth in all the time. And so for a pianist, the full chord will matter. And so I would just highlight that and just say, so if we're going to do that, if you want to go there, try doing this, because then it'll lead it to the next thing. So those types of conversations, just to kind of work little places to grow and move.
It's writing you up a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And, well, not just that though. Like when we do, I like to say this all the times, but when we do cover songs, we're a band that does covers. We're not a cover band, and so like we rearrange the song structures. You won't know unless you're a musician. Obviously, you'll be like, oh, they skipped that one part and they added in a lead or a drum solo or something. We rearrange it, and like she's very good at helping me, because I don't come from a theory background at all, understand like why that works, how to do that. And she used to be a vocal coach for a long time, and so my vocals got hell of a lot better once we started playing in a band together. And she was like, if we change the key, you could probably sing that more effortlessly. I'm like, you can change the key of songs?
Yeah, right.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's a game changer.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. It's a game.
Yep.
I don't have to belt at the top of my lungs. I can sing it smoothly with air. And yeah, like I just changed that key. So yeah, being together and playing in a band together has like changed the dynamics that I'm able to do. I've learned a ton from her theory and her background. And our bass player, Jay, same way. He has both worlds. He's learned music. He knows some theory and stuff. So we have a good communication that way, too.
That's
now.
so great.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, take Melinda through your voice exercises before a gig.
Oh, come on.
Come on, do it.
No, I feel bad now.
joints.
Fun.
Turkey joint. Yeah. Yeah,
No, it's more like a pack of Newports and a shot of
right.
JD.
That's
No,
right.
this is in all seriousness. So you know Ryan Quinn, right? Everybody
Yes.
knows Ryan Quinn. And when he joined the band, we were getting ready to play our first gig, and he's doing all these things where, the straw trick where you put the small straw in and you breathe through the small straw and you do the, and he's got this thing. It looks like an oxygen mask, but it's got.
Oh, he's
like
got the
red,
big one,
And you put it
yeah.
over and you go, and you scream at the top of your lungs, whatever, and it gets like something. I'm like, okay. He goes, and I'm just kind of doing my thing, and like,
You got a Camel Light.
no, like seriously. He goes, what do you, hey, you've been doing this for a while. What do you do to warm your voice up before you sing? I go, I smoke a cigarette, I drink a beer, I do a shot, maybe have another cigarette, and then I go on stage. and he did exactly what Anthony just did. He starts dying laughing, and then he goes completely still, and he goes, no, really, and I go, no, really, and his face like dropped, his whole like color in his face went, and he's like, you don't do any warm-ups? I go, no, I don't. I've never done any warm-ups. I literally do a shot, drink a beer, smoke a cigarette, and come up and play. It's what my voice is used to.
It is,
Yeah.
yep.
If I tried to do what he was doing, I probably would lose my voice halfway through the show. Because if I worked at it over time, I'm sure that my vocal cords, being muscle, could adapt to that. But that's just not what. Yes, my voice does love when I don't smoke, but it's just become part of my routine. So anyway, that's my pre-show routine.
It's a good warm up.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like a basic, like bar gigging standard, like a musician who's been doing it for a long time. If you ask most musicians,
Yeah.
that's probably their vocal exercise. I didn't know that you could exercise your vocals.
Yeah.
I've been the same way.
Right.
And then, being married to a vocal coach, he's like, you can do a couple of easy things. And I do them in a shower.
Right.
What do you do?
I do the same thing. Like
Go through the scales.
well,
Yep.
I just try to find where my voice is going to break, where I know it's not going to work,
Yeah. Okay.
and then I stay within that.
Which is
range.
different every day.
It is.
Right.
Yep.
Every day.
Yep.
is
Every day.
different. Yep.
Different times a day.
I also notice that, like, before a show, I like to have a cigar and a beer,
Yep.
and so I just try to make sure that my vocal cords are lubricated. And this thing that I saw from Ben Harper years ago, that he claims that he got from the Marleys, is that he would drink this special honey juice,
Honey. Yeah.
and it's guava juice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's guava juice. And so I remember years ago I bought this thing, and it was called Throat Saver Spray. It's for the vocalist who has
Yep.
overextended themselves.
Yep.
And I looked at the ingredients, and having a background in herbalism and stuff, I'm like, I have all this shit in my cupboard. So now
Oh, that's cool.
So now what I do is I boil down a little bit of blackstrap molasses. I'm giving my secret away on air here.
That's cool.
A little bit of organic honey. And there's a root called OSHA root that the Native Americans use to open up the lungs and the upper respiratory tract, which is in all these throat sprays. I grind it up and I boil that in there. What's the other thing I add in there? Mainly those ingredients. I boil it down, and I'll drink a little bit of it warm, and then I'll put some in a spray bottle and take it to the show with me. And if my throat feels like it got dried out from the shot, the cigar, or the beer,
Or the weed.
or with the weed, whatever
Yeah.
it is, or even just the super forced air in the bar, which
Oh,
happens
horrible.
all the time.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I'll just reach back. You'll see me on stage just go, and it's not Banaka. I'm not like, getting fresh breath up there. I'm spraying it, and what it does is it coats the throat, and it opens up the upper respiratory, and you can belt more. And this is what Ben Harper said. I can't even find the interview. I've tried to share this interview with people. I don't even know how I saw it, but I saw Ben Harper, and I'm like, Ben Harper has one of the most extraordinary voices ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, how does he sing like that? And then I saw this interview, and he's like, I drink this stuff every show. At halftime and before the show, I drink this and I go out, and then my voice is just smooth all night. And I'm like, I knew there was a trick. I knew it.
Yeah.
Dio too. Ronnie James Dio used to do honey.
Yeah,
That was
Dio
his
did,
trick.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was his trick. To
I
skew.
You know what I
know
used
that.
to do is, if especially the gigs where it was super dry, like Turning Stone, Exit 33. I mean, you might as well just pull all of the liquid out of your system.
Yeah.
It is just, and on top of it, the gig is so beautiful. It's a gorgeous venue.
Yeah.
But the forced air
It's right on you.
is literally above the stage, follows the
Yeah.
stage, so it blows directly down on the front of the stage. That's the forced air of it. So I mean, it literally you can't breathe. You know what I
No.
mean? It's horrible. So what I used to do, and I want to get back into it, is vegetable glycerin.
Okay. Yep.
Just taking a little bit of vegetable glycerin, which is edible, but it's very sweet,
Mm-hmm.
and it coats your throat. It does a really good job. It's a little less thick than honey, So, but
So it goes down easier. Yeah.
yeah, sure. But it was, it helped coat my throat and would bring me through some of those really dry times.
Especially like performing consistently too, like as a vocalist, like singing all the time, like doing multiple shows a week, or just all season, just like
Sure.
the busy season. Midsummer, you're like, am I getting a cold? I don't
Right,
feel bad, but the throat starts to go, and there's not a lot you can do for it. Like your next gig, you're gonna sound rougher than you did before.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're singing some rougher stuff.
Sure.
Luckily for us, we got a good set of Almond Brothers on
Yeah.
deck. So if it gets rough, what's Almond Brothers tonight? So you need the grit. We got the grit. That's about where we go. But some of the songs like Do It Again, we haven't transposed. When we do Steely Dan's Do It Again, that's a high.
Oh yeah.
I mean, right off the bat.
It is a high register.
And so when we do that song, I'm always like, okay, here we go. And there's been times I shake that song off like a bad pitch. I'm just like, nope. Everyone's like, do it again's next. No, it's not.
Back, Jack, do it again.
Yeah. The verses are way higher than the chorus, though.
Yeah, the verses. Yeah, so high. Yeah, and so I'm lubed up for that. For sure.
Lubed up, I love that. There's been a bunch of people checking on Facebook. Thank you so much, whoever's watching on Facebook. And please do us a favor, click the share button. I do got to make an announcement. The first of the year, we're putting this whole thing just on YouTube only and podcasts, too. We're going to be doing podcasts, so you can listen to this on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google. And we're pretty much, if you're a podcast listener, you can get it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So our boy Lynn White checking in from before August.
Yeah,
love him.
Lynn.
Yeah.
He's like seriously one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Really, really love that dude.
Yeah.
And
Lynn, he's saying playing sober. How does that happen?
Not when Lynn's around, it's not.
No.
Well, Lynn also says, he goes, remember, the more you drink, the better we sound.
Yes.
Which he has that on the back of his
On
t-shirt.
the back of his T-shirt.
I wear that T-shirt. Like, that's one of my favorite T-shirts as well. I wear it all the time.
Yeah. I wear it on tour with me, too. And
Yeah, yeah.
Al had made mention of it. He goes,
Did he really?
He goes, what's that shirt you're wearing? He goes, is that for us? I'm like, no.
Are you trying to tell us something?
It was funny, man.
Yeah, we love Lynn. We hang out with
people,
Lynn
man.
all the time. The guys from Broken Rule too.
They're checking in, too. Kevin's on right now. He's
Kevin
saying hello to
Pratt,
everybody.
Talk about people who uplift other musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
There's a huge, great
Huge
scene out in
thing.
Oneida.
Yeah.
There really is. It's
Yeah.
it's great. You can't deny that. You know.
Which never used to be there.
No.
I'm surprised.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
I remember back in the day where Syracuse was the biggest place to play, not Utica. And then I remember Utica was the biggest place to play.
Yep.
Now it's like Utica and Oneida, and I'm like, I never thought I would see these things in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Like everything's fairly local, and I'm like super stoked at the way the scene is opening up, and the venue owners who are taking the chance and hiring all the bands and stuff. Like I can't thank them enough. You know. There's lots of new venue owners now. We saw COVID knock out some venues, and
Bunch.
the ones that started right before that who just kept going, like nothing fancy. Mean, they put in a lot of work over. That place looks amazing.
Yeah, it does.
And they have one of the best sound setups I have seen in Central New York, period.
Wow.
Sounds and light. I mean, he used to do it for, what was the band that he ran for? I can't remember. But he's done professional lights and sound for bands for years, and he's got like probably the best setup I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's a good spot over there.
Yeah.
I like the banter you and Austin got going on right now.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think,
sure.
Justin, is this a ritual? If you don't do these steps before a show, do you feel weird? And tell everybody how you replied.
I replied, it is a ritual, and I do feel weird if I don't have a cig. If I don't have a beer, it's not weird. 'Cause it's not. I mean, really, it's not like, oh my God, somebody find me a beer immediately. It's not like that at all. I mean, if I'm obviously in a place where I can't drink, I can play, and it's not going to be a weird thing. But
I mean, I don't know. I've had shows where I literally have yelled into the mic, "Why is nobody bringing me a beer?" because my throat's so dry, the water's gone, and the last beer's
everything's gone. Right?
And I'm
yeah,
just like,
yeah.
I got like 6
Yeah.
more songs before this night's over, and I'm not going to make it.
Yeah, and then Austin writes, that happens to me if I don't have a specific outfit for drumming, shorts, shoes, socks, etc. And I said, no, and I said it totally makes sense. We're creatures of habit for sure, which is, it's true. I mean, and there are weird rituals that musicians have that, like, you're just like, why? What does that do? Like, what does that even do? But it works for that person. You know what I mean? And it's like,
It's like wearing your Yankees cap when you go to the game, and you have to wear it slightly sideways.
Right, exactly.
Being superstitious.
Yeah, it's there's lots
Yeah.
of superstitious rituals. I don't care who you are as a musician. You might not even know you have it going on.
Seriously, you're right.
Yeah, but it's happening. You're doing it. You just don't know. Until somebody else goes, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
When somebody else goes, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always do this.
Yeah.
Well, that means you either have some kind of ADHD or OCD going on, or that's your musician ritual.
I think it's pretty much guaranteed that if you're a musician, you have OCD.
Yeah.
I mean, like, really. I mean, like.
and ADHD too.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Unless
What?
you're a
I'm
drummer.
sorry, what? No.
Unless you're a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then a
Yeah.
drummer, you definitely have ADD.
Oh, yeah.
ADHD.
And it's funny funny he mentioned like the outfit for drummers because that is actually the standard outfit for drummers. It's shorts no matter what the weather, short socks or tube socks, and like some kind of weird
tank top or something.
Yachting shoes and and a tank top. Maybe a hat backwards.
Yachting shoes.
Yachting
shoes.
Bunch of friends checking in. Kevin's checking in. Fulton Chain Gang saying, and
Kevin goes, we bring you guys beers.
I'm sure Kevin
he does.
He does.
Yeah. Maybe too often he does, but he definitely does bring us beers. Yeah.
I give a shout out to my peeps down in Destin, Florida. My boy Colin Leonard. Just saying happy Monday to everybody.
Happy
Colin,
Monday.
He's a little superstitious too. Is that what it is? Oh, studious. I don't know, whatever. I can't read so well.
I can't.
And then, dude, we have a celebrity on right now.
We do?
Checking in with us.
Who?
That dude, Sean, what's his name? You know him. You play with him.
You know the guy.
Sean.
Yeah, the guy.
The guy with the turkey joints.
Smythe.
That dude.
Sean Smythe. The artist formerly known as Big Sexy. Remember when you did that, Sean Big 13 Smith?
The day he dropped his moniker, Big Sexy, I was the first person he texted. He goes, "Well, you finally got your wish.
Got your wish.
You got your wish."
I threw up my hands. I'm like, "Really, dude? Really? You're like 40-something years old, and now you decided you're going to drop Big Sexy? Really?"
Yeah, I mean,
you should just drop the big and just go with sexy.
Yeah.
At 40, just keep it.
Just keep it at that point. I mean, and like you said, drop the big because, at 40, your weight fluctuates so much that it could be small today. It could be medium tomorrow. I mean, I literally walked in for my gig yesterday. I walked over to my wife, and I'm like, or it was 2 days ago. I'm like, I can't wear this shirt. I'm having a fat day. Literally, I'm a freaking grown-ass man, and I'm having a fat day. I'm like,
anyone
seriously.
over 30 knows exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, my God, it's horrible.
I actually
hate it. I hate it.
That's why I don't wear cool outfits ever, because I'll be like, I bought this sweet shirt and this vest. I'm going to go like Tom Petty every performance from now on. And then I'll put the shirt on. I'm like, okay, this bitch still fits. And then I put the vest on. I'm like, nope, fat day. It's not working.
Right, exactly.
And I'm not going to go with just a button-up shirt. Now I just look weird.
Or the worst part about it, too, if you're a musician, you have to make sure you eat in the morning so that your stomach is going to be at the correct position that it will be in when you play. Because if not, if you don't eat before you go play, your stomach's in a normal spot, and then you get to the gig, you're like, ooh, pizza. And by the time you put your bam, it's like, oh, my stomach's out there. Why is my guitar out here? What is going on? Fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Fat musician problem.
Fat. Yeah. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. This is all real stuff.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. Real stuff.
Anyway.
Hysterical. What do you guys, so you talked about recording, right?
Yeah.
Put an album out?
Oh man, we've been trying to put an original album out for the last 2 years, and anyone who records knows how that goes. So I don't need to say much more about that. But through COVID, I wrote 17 new songs.
Wow.
17 new original songs.
You were busy.
Well, here's the thing. For the last 10 years before, maybe 12 years before that, I was dying. I had writer's block so bad I couldn't pop nothing out. Thank God for COVID, because I wrote 16, 17 new songs. But I was like, where's all the mojo? I got nothing. And I was going through all the old songs. I was playing them again. I'm like, I'm just not even this guy anymore. And so I'm like, well, having the whole crisis, well, who am I now that I'm writing music? And then I popped out a couple of nice ones, and I was like, all right, I think I got it. And then it just, once the gate was open, it just has kept coming. But
what do you think opened up that eye?
Man, I don't know.
You think there was something you were doing in your personal life that was blocking the creativity?
I think it was just the fact that I was still trying to identify with the guy who wrote those other songs. And so I hadn't really settled in that I have a new identity. Mm-hmm. And I had to sit down and be like, who am I musically? What am I listening to musically? Like back in the day, I loved that hardcore Allman Brothers stuff. Now I hated Melissa and all those slow songs. The poppy stuff.
Jessica.
Now I listen to that shit and cry, and I understand it, and it's in my soul.
Nobody left to run with
anymore. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
Song.
That's the song. I'm driving in my car playing it going, there's nobody left to run with me.
Literally. Bro, we relate to that shit now. We relate to that shit.
It's so real. And so and that's it. That was the defining moment. Like I was like, my music is different. And you know, back in the day, I didn't like country. Back in the day, I didn't like opera. Like I just like hated everything. I was like, nah, I only do this. But now my influences have changed. You know, I still like some of the influences that I liked back in the day, but now I like the different stuff that they did too. Like I'm a giant John Scofield fan. I mean, like he just kills it. I remember Mo New Year's Eve. There you just hear some. They were who'd they play with? They had the lead singer from the Black Crowes was singing, and
it was Phil and Friends.
Or Phil and Friends.
Yeah, it was Phil and Friends. It was Phil, John Scofield, Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
I forgot who was playing drums with him. I don't know, but it was a slam. I saw that show at the Armory in
It was
Albany.
at the Armory, yeah. And so I was sitting in the crowd. I was having a bad day, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm at this show. I'm so upset. And I'm like, well, Chris Robinson. I love Chris Robinson. Love the Black Crowes. And then all of a sudden, I heard this guitar riff, and I'm like, I stood up, and I was like, what?
I love those.
Is that John Scofield playing? Where's John Scofield? I don't see him. That sounds like John Scofield. And I grabbed the dude next to me. I'm like, John Scofield's coming out. And the dude's like, stop touching me, bro. I don't know you. And then John Scofield came out, and I started grabbing him. I was John Scofield. I told you. And he's like, I'm going to have you arrested. Stop assaulting me. And it was then all of a sudden it was like the best show. And I realized I love jazz. And that was something I didn't know. So I think a lot of those things matured in me over the years and have changed. And again, so something within me needed to re-express itself in a different way. And then, I don't know, if you've written a song, you've probably written a song about like, this is trash, nobody wants to hear it. And I remember listening to the lead singer of the Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, was saying, like, I have a whole bunch of folders that's full of trash. And I'm like, I bet somebody would pay $1 million just to get 5 notes or 5 verses out of one of those. And he said, people would probably pay $1 million to get 5 verses. I'm like, he's listening to me. And I'm like, I got a thing with this guy right now on TV. And he said, everything in here I thought was trash just ended up being on our new album. And I was like, and he's like, sometimes you just got to put it out there and just be like,
don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. And that was like, I think a huge writer's block for me is like overthinking it a lot.
16 years for me. I've been in the writer's block. I've not written a new song in 16 years.
Well, I think me and you need to get together, lock ourselves up in a room in your little house there, and
I can't.
throw down
I really
some
suck
ditties.
at lyrics. Yeah, I really suck at lyrics. That's always been my issue. I can write music for days. I mean, I can tell you exactly what the song's about, but I can't put it into lyrics. But also, I just wanted to give you a little tidbit. Somebody asked you what your inspiration behind the music that you're writing is. You just say Melinda. Okay, that's all.
Melinda, my wife has inspired
anytime, right?
Yeah,
I got you. Don't worry.
Well, actually, one of the new songs, actually that's already recorded, that's already going to go on the album, is called Sugar Mama. And so that's a song that's already finished. And
I love this conversation so much right now. It's
I
so
did
awesome.
write it about my wife because
that's great.
Everything. If you hear the lyrics to the song, there's one person I turn to when life is rough. Someone who's always been there. If you got one, that's your sugar mama. And the lyrics. I actually was having writer's block, and I was like, what can I write about? Like, there's nothing to write about. And I was like. And I made fun of the fact we used to talk to she's always my sugar mama. I married her for money.
Which, being a teacher, that was clearly
it's clearly a joke as a teacher. So we had this running joke, and so one day I was at home and I wrote the song and I played it for her, and she was like, "That's actually pretty good." And I'm like, "Well, I guess we'll keep it." And now it's one that we play live, and that'll be on the new album. So
cool.
That is awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Is there any music that he turned you on to that you didn't think you'd be into?
A lot of it. So
Yeah.
a lot of growing up, I had listened to a lot more of the traditional things that you might have heard, like Beatles and things like that. And so I was getting into a lot more of the Jimi Hendrix and the Government Mule and aspects that I might not have heard before, that I just hadn't come across or studied in college. So I would say the biggest influence would be a lot more of the rock and blues. We've gone to Tedeschi Trucks and Government Mule and
Mo.
Yep, Mo and even John Brown's Body, the Black Castle like offshoot. There's certain things that
I
really
love that album.
stick with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Elliot Martin's album.
Yeah.
It's such a great album.
And so things like that sometimes will really, really stick in my brain that way. And I'm the same way. Like lyrics don't really jive, and I've got some synesthesia that happens. So when I'm listening to music, it's there's very shape oriented stuff.
Yes.
So some of the stuff he's
Oh my God,
showing
it's
me
so
and
perfect.
introducing me to
Yeah.
is just gorgeous in that sense. Even though it's rock and roll, it's got this beauty to it. It's an inspiration. So
Colorful.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
went and saw
for sure.
Dark Side of the Moon this summer. And
Dark Side of the Mule, yeah.
Or Mule,
Yep.
yeah, Dark Side of the Mule. That was absolutely killer. And they just had a new bass player. Have you seen the new bass player for Government Mule?
No.
Yeah, so Sven is gone.
Really?
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
I didn't know
And
that.
I don't know why, but he's gone. And they got a new bass player. Looks a lot like Justin, actually. But he's like got a whole bike. He looks like a biker. Like if you were to see this guy, you'd be like, he's in Hell's Angels and he's not in this band. That's for sure.
He should be in Black Label Society.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah,
a Black
right,
Label Society. But he's a hell of a bass player, man. And so we saw Dark Side of the Mule, and they just tore it up. It was
Wow.
It was a killer show. It was at SPAC. I hadn't been to SPAC since I saw Allman Brothers in like the early '90s there when Derek Trucks was still like 14.
Yeah.
And so that was the first time I've been back to SPAC in a long time, and even the venue had changed quite a bit. So, but that show was amazing.
Is it me or is Derek Trucks like the greatest slide guitar player ever?
Ever.
No, he is.
Like, just I've never seen anything like it. That you ever catch that video where he's like the three guitars? You got John Mayer, you got Derek Trucks, and you got BB King, and
Yeah.
they're all sitting in a row, and like they're just trading licks back and forth, and all of a sudden Derek rips into something like that, and you got Mayer just stops and he just like
yeah, he
this.
leans over.
and then
like,
and then here's BB King.
yeah, yeah.
Now that's how you're supposed to do that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like I'm like, dude, man, BB King tells you that that's how you're supposed to do something. You just listen. It's like, wow, man. So
Yeah, no,
good. He's so good.
He's definitely got to be the best slide guitar player. I haven't seen anyone. There's a lot of good slide guitar players, but he's famously the best one that you can see out there.
We're being intercepted by a Jeff Moyer today.
Yep.
I see that he's joining us today.
Oh my God.
It's a good one.
What do you call Government Mule if they were purchased from Wish.com?
What?
House of Representatives cows. Waka waka waka.
Wow, that's the best Government Mule joke I've ever heard.
Oh God, I hate you, Jeffrey.
Also represent.
Oh my God.
Good stuff, though. Yeah, mules, they're freaking awesome.
No, Lynn's right. You know, I mean, I think I misspoke. I think I should have said Derek Trucks is the greatest slide guitar player alive right now. I mean, Dwayne Allman, I mean, he's just always and will be the king in my book.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And how many people still don't know that it's him playing with Derek and the Dominoes? Like, nobody knows that. It's so crazy to me. I'm
We
like,
were
we know
talking
that.
about this
Musicians
the
know
other
it, but-
day about how and at the end of Layla,
Yeah.
that like Eric Clapton couldn't figure out what to put at the end of Layla. They didn't know, and they went.
They were going to fade out.
Yeah, they went to like a cigarette break or something. When they came back in, there's Dwayne Allman just hitting play and playing slide over it. And the dude came in and hit record.
Yeah.
And then after that, Eric was like, well, that's fucking amazing, but I can't let him have the last one. So then he played lead over it too.
Yeah.
So it's a double lead.
Yeah.
That they stereoed out. So if you listen to it headphones, you got Eric on one side, you got Dwayne on the other side.
Sure.
Like that's the end of Layla.
Right, and you know how that was conceived, right? That whole ending part was conceived because in the beginning of when they went on break, the drummer from Derek and the Dominoes sat down at the piano and created that part.
Yep, yeah.
They were originally going to fade out before that, and then he created that part. And like you said, Dwayne had recorded the solo over it, and by the time they all got back from break, it was just there.
It was
It's like
done
holy
deal.
shit, you know.
I love that Derek and the Domino live album.
Oh my God.
It's timeless.
Bell Bottom Blues is one of the greatest songs ever written, hands down.
So our bass player Jason Fuller turned us on to a live version of Eric Clapton playing "Got to Get Better in a Little While," and so we added that to our set. And man, it's probably one of my most favorite songs we're playing
I
right
love
now.
that song.
Yeah, it's such a great song.
Yeah. Who sang that?
Eric and the Dominoes.
Derek. Well, Eric, he sang that too.
Yeah, it was originally Derek and the Dominoes,
Right.
but Eric Clapton has performed it live over the years.
And he sings it.
Yep.
Okay.
And he sings it.
Originally.
And the version that Jason sent us had Yul Bremmer. I don't know if you guys know Yul Bremmer. He's been the backup guitarist for everybody from Gary Clark Jr. to Eric Clapton to B.B. King. He plays a standard left guitar just flipped over.
Okay.
Like the low E is on the top and the high E's on the or on the top and the low E's on the bottom.
Yeah.
And he is actually an epic guitar player.
Was he? Now this is totally a reach, but is there a possibility that he would have toured with Rob Thomas solo?
Yes, he did it. Also toured with Santana.
Okay, because I saw him. I saw him when I went to go see Rob Thomas at Turning Stone at the Event Center. Which, by the way, I'm a huge Matchbox 20 Rob Thomas fan. I love their music. I think it's great. I know. I can't help it. But that was where I grew up. I saw them when they came to Fireworks over Central New York. And he came out. He came out in a big like Stetson like this, and we were all making fun of him. And then they rip it a fucking push, and we're all just like, because they sounded just like a record when they played, and they still do. But went to go see Rob Thomas, and there's this dude literally playing left-handed upside down, and like the low E's on the bottom. I'm like, how the hell is he doing that? Like what? Why?
Yeah, he's probably one of the most hired studio and
plays keyboards
live musicians. Yeah, plays keyboards. Yeah, real amazing.
Yep.
Like epic guitar player. The only other guy.
Oh, Lynn's gonna die.
What's that?
He said, "So sorry, Justin. You like Nickelback too?"
Oh,
dude, you know, borderline gonna take back everything I said about you. We're at that point. You know, Jennifer was right about you.
You shot.
Lynn's always asking me why Warren Haynes. Why do you love Warren Haynes?
Oh my God, he's incredible.
Right. There you go. I'm not even going to say anything else about that, Lynn White.
Yeah.
We just got a consensus.
Warren Haynes is a Jedi.
He is a Jedi.
You're not kidding, man.
Hardest working musician I've seen. Like, you can go to any festival like Bonnaroo or anything. He'll do 3 acoustic sets, sit in with 4 bands, and do a full set with his own band.
Yeah.
Like, what?
At damn near 70.
At damn near 70?
Dude, his rendition of Cortez the Killer on Dave Matthews' Central Park record.
Oh, my God.
He played and sang Cortez the Killer with Dave Matthews Band behind him.
That is the best version
believable.
ever.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It is just hands down like
the Madison Square Garden version is fucking killer. And they've tried to repeat that, and it's nowhere near.
No, it's just special.
That was really special.
Dave Matthews has been on fire lately. I saw him play with Corey Wong recently.
Yeah, Corey Wong.
That was pretty badass.
Dude, what a sick guitarist he is! Like that, all that funk shit. That compression.
I've seen him 4 times this year.
See with Volpec. I mean, just
incredible.
They're just insane.
And then the night before, did he have Derek Trucks with him?
I think he might have.
Yeah, Derek Trucks. Derek and Susan came out.
Yep, Derek and Susan played
at
with
MSG. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I was in Albany when Sam Kinninger got up and played with Dave Matthews.
He plays with him all the time.
I know.
He's played with him at least 20 times.
I was swearing. I've been a lifelong Dave Matthews fan. This is back then. I mean, I'm no longer as big of a Dave Matthews fan as I used to be because it kind of got it burnt me out. Plus, I hate all his new shit. I can't deal with it. But like way back when Sam was there, I was like swearing at my wife, going, "I can't fucking believe this. That guy's from Utica. How come he gets to play with Dave Matthews? This is bullshit.
I'm from Utica.
Too, and I know how to play. I know how to play.
I can play with you.
Let me up there."
Well, the difference is he started a band called Lettuce.
Yeah, right.
Who? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, freaking yeah. Well, wasn't he with Snarky Puppy one time too, or with?
I'm sure he's friends with him.
What is the original band that he was with that Dave met him?
Soul Live.
Soul Live, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Soul
you.
Live is
Soul
just
Live is
a
where they
monster,
and that's where they
dude.
got what's his face from too, the trumpet player, right? Wasn't he with Soul Live?
No, he was with the trumpet player Dave Matthews has now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Future Man?
No.
not Future
No.
The guy, the trumpet
They
player
had a
and
trumpet
sax
player
player.
in
He
Bela
plays.
Fleck?
He plays.
Man. Bela said it.
Or no, the sax player. I'm talking about the sax player.
Oh, Jeff Coffin. I
Jeff
knew that.
Coffin,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I think that the
Double sax man.
No, you know who the trumpet player is from is Robert Randolph.
Oh,
That's where
another
he's
sick
from.
band. Another really sick band.
Guy brings
I saw
the party.
Gary Clark Jr. open for Robert Randolph,
Oh,
and
wow.
then sit in with Robert Randolph, and it was an epic show.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Yeah,
I love to see this together.
epic show.
Sorry, I'm not laughing.
What do you got?
This is what I do. I just sit here and troll the Facebook comments because they're great.
Yeah.
Kevin Pratt, Justin, remember Lynn and Rick are going to Olive Garden tonight.
They're going to get COVID, too.
Yeah, right. From the utensils that they don't clean properly.
Oh man.
And then Lynn's saying he's going to check him out a little bit more. He's probably going to check
Yeah.
out Mule a little bit more. Sure,
Yeah.
they rock, man. I
Yeah,
listen
they
to Mule
do.
all the time, too.
And the best part is they just pull stuff out you don't know. I mean, you go watch Broken Rule, and they'll do War Pigs. They'll just bust out War Pigs out of nowhere. That blew my mind. It's one of the other reasons why I love Kevin Pratt and those guys so much. But Kevin, I'll tell you right now, if you haven't heard Government Mule's version of War Pigs,
Yeah.
you gotta hear that.
it's
Oh, yeah.
badass.
Because they'll do a country song. Like, I mean, there's nothing that Mule can't do. That's what's crazy about them. And they encompass everything from like the most amazing soul singing soulful song. They can do R&B, they can do jazz, they can do prog rock. I'm just like
A lot of people are doing that now, though. I mean, like you got.
Mixing the genres.
Yeah, they're making because like that's one of the biggest things you hear in interviews. Like guys are like, we're not country, we're not Americana, we're not this, we're not that. I mean, that's what they put Chris Stapleton in this whole Americana category, which he's just so different than all the songs he's written. He just happened to write a bunch of hit country songs. Okay,
Yeah.
great, but Zach Brown band. That was the other thing. Like Zach Brown has been in a ton of interviews where he gets really pissed off.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, the country band, Zach Brown band."
No way.
He's like, dude,
he's
I've
the
heard-
only band that I
Yeah.
love that plays country,
Yeah.
that isn't country, that I've
Right.
seen rock out more than any other country.
Oh my
band.
God! For that one tour, remember he was ending the night with "Killing in the Name of"
Yeah.
by Rage. They were doing "Killing in the Name of" every show.
Yeah, there's
Like,
nothing
just
he can't
insane.
do. And
No,
he's
they're
had
incredible.
he's had my favorite guitar player and singer right now, which is Marcus King.
Oh yeah, okay.
And now
Yep.
Marcus King's been on tour with Zach Brown band, and Marcus King
is in the Zach Brown band right now?
Oh, he's been playing, opening up for
Opening
them,
up,
and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
sitting in with
Touring
them.
Gotcha.
together.
Yeah, the guy that plays with Zach Brown that sings all the high parts is Clay Cook. And
Oh,
the
yeah.
story with Clay Cook is that him and John Mayer went to Berkeley together. They wrote all those original songs, No Such Thing, Why Georgia, Neon, all
Yep.
those songs they all wrote together. And then when they moved down to Georgia, that's how Clay ended up meeting up with Zach Brown because
Yep.
when Mayer went, Clay didn't want to go with him. It didn't want to like make it big or whatever, make it famous. He was happy just hanging out and doing his own thing. And Zach begged him to join the band like for like 2 years, 3 years, and then when he hit it big, and he made his first record hit, then he asked Clay, and he's like, dude, he made him an offer he couldn't refuse. You know what I mean? So now he's in the band.
No shit. And then he's
But yeah.
good friends with Chris Eves too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, Chris
Like-
Eves. Yeah, Chris Eves. Every time the Zach Brown band comes around here, Chris Eves plays with him. You
Yeah.
know, and they cover Neon too, which is great. His John Mayer. That's probably one of his best songs. Just really, really unique sounding song. If you ever get a chance.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
people don't know that a lot of that early stuff was not just John Mayer writing
Right.
it. Like
course
he
not,
had
yeah.
he had an acoustic duo partner that he was doing most of his writing with.
That was Clay. Yep.
That was Clay. And Clay now plays with John Mayer quite a bit. He'll bring him up on tour.
Really, because I haven't seen him with him.
Yeah, I just saw a thing on YouTube. He let Clay play acoustic and sing one of the songs.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was the
Oh wait, no, I did see that. It was from like this side of the stage, like looking down.
yeah.
Right?
I think
did
it
see
was
that.
new, the Sob Rock tour that John Mayer just did.
Oh, okay.
Which I want to comment on this John Mayer Sob Rock thing because we were just talking about this. Is that John Mayer is a fucking genius?
Yeah.
Because what he did is he listen to an era of music, the 80s, early 90s era of music, Eric Clapton stuff, all the great, you can even hear it in the Sob Rock album. Like, I forgot what song it is, but when you listen to his solo, it's it's a Dire Straits solo.
Sure.
And you see what he's wearing, the colors, even the album title Sob Rock. He distilled like the 80s, early 90s big shoulder pad rock
Sure.
into an album, and I think it's fucking genius.
Yeah, it's
like,
brilliant. He's brilliant anyway. I mean, look at all these people did. They all did their own thing, and then they sold out. You know, all these bands, they all sell out afterwards. John Mayer's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to sell out first. I'm going to write all my pop songs. I'm going to make a gazillion dollars, make all the 12-year-olds fall in love with me, and then fall out of love with me in the next album because now I'm going to do what the fuck I want.
Yeah, what was the biggest thing he did after he sold out? He did the John Mayer Trio and just
Which was
ripped
insane.
blues.
Steve Jordan, Pino Palladino, fucking
What a
insane.
group.
Steve Jordan was with him.
It was Steve Jordan, Pino Palladino, who's currently the bass player for The Who.
Yeah.
And they did the John Mayer Trio for a while. And they still do the John Mayer Trio. That one live album, it's John Mayer opening up for the John Mayer Trio, opening up for the John Mayer Band.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he starts the band out acoustic, and then the trio comes out and does a whole set, and then he comes out with his band and does a whole set. I'm like, that's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very
fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, like just to organize things like that. And you know what? That's another thing. Government Mule does the same thing. Warren Haynes will come out and play a couple acoustic songs, open up into and then just play with whatever band he's playing with.
Yeah, it's just so cool, man.
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody getting along, everybody jamming together. It's like, that's the way it should be, you know? So I get super passionate about this shit. I fucking love it.
Yeah, let's go, Justin.
Let's fucking trash this whole place right now and get drunk.
We'll save it.
All right. Let's table that idea.
Pookie, we're going to tear this bitch down.
Man, you got any shows you want to plug? You got anything coming up?
We don't have anything right now. We're booking stuff for next year. We're working in the studio on a new set list and trying to hopefully get a full album out. But I just got some phone calls yesterday and today about booking some shows this year. So we might do some stuff in the wintertime.
Cool.
Usually we calm down, we chillax a little bit, and we try to revamp a whole new set list because, you know, we've played them 1,000 times by now. So
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, and then recording as always a lot. So
And you know, I got to ask you because you're here, and sometimes you come here on another realm, if you will. Are you picking up any energy today?
no, I'm picking up a lot of energy, but I'm trying not to pay attention anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing, though.
What if I asked you to pay attention?
No, you'd have to pay me first.
Yeah, for sure.
Or we'd have to make a phone call, and then I'd come in an hour earlier.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, he's got to put himself into that frame.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It's not hard. Like, I've been sitting here struggling to stay not in that frame. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, it's
understand that.
this room, right? I mean,
this room.
This room's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, I don't know what goes on in here,
Yeah.
but like every time I come in here, it's like I just want to fade out, and yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's done that many times.
Yeah,
This is like your third time here, maybe?
third or fourth.
Third
Yeah,
or four times?
Yeah.
And one time he just came in and just kind of did a little reading, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Wow.
picked
That's
up
very
on
cool.
some weird shit. That's for
Sure.
sure. Because I carry a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Most people don't know that about you.
For sure.
Awesome. Justin, where are you guys at this week?
Well, I do have to tell a quick story.
Okay.
Yesterday, I was booked solo at Station 233, which shout out to Bert and Cheryl. They're doing great up there. I
Oh, we love
that
Bert.
place.
Yeah.
Bert's amazing. We love 230.
So yesterday, they had got a little bit more than they bargained for because they not only booked me solo, but they also booked Sean solo
We
as well.
saw
Not even
that.
knowing that?
Without even knowing. Well, he showed me the calendar, and this is how vague the whole thing was. It says Justice Smithson, and then it says how much I'm getting paid, and then it says poor Tim in parentheses. And I'm like, okay, but how come it's solo in my calendar and solo in Sean's?
Sounds like a
So we're
setup.
it sounds like a setup to me. So we're like, fuck it, we'll take advantage of it. And we set up, we did the gig together, and we had fun because I don't know why, but for some reason, because his name's Bert, like I do my best Ernie impression. And I'm like, oh, hi Bert. And he's like, "Hey guys, well, fuck you, Bert." and then Cheryl, his wife, walks in like, "Oh, hi, Cheryl, good to see you." And he's like, "What the fuck, guys?" He goes, "I walk in, it's fuck you, Bert." Cheryl walks in, it's like, "Oh, hi, Cheryl." I'm like, "That's because we love her."
Yeah.
So no, but anyway, so we had a great time last night there playing, and then I almost lost my voice screaming at the Buffalo Bills because that was almost another heart-wrenching loss. But
yeah, lucky.
Yeah.
Stupid calls.
Yep, I know. But, it happens.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, actually, the calls finally were in the Bills' favor.
Finally, exactly. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that because it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Usually the Bills are getting screwed.
Right, and and it was the first game, I have to say that I didn't watch the commentators go, like, to put up the graphic of Patrick Mahomes like this, and here comes Patrick Mahomes, oh, here comes Patrick Mahomes, and I hate it. I can't deal with it. But anyway, back to where I'm playing this week. Sean and I are playing at One Jenny on Wednesday. I play solo on Thursday at Fratello's. Friday was showtime at the Gig. Saturday was showtime at Erie Station Bar and Grill in Fort Plain. I'm off on Sunday, and then Monday's a big Christmas party for Fratello's.
Ooh.
Poor Tim Band. Everybody's welcome to come down and jam. If you'd like to come down and jam, Mark Macri coming down from Syracuse to hang out and jam with us. So
cool.
It starts at 7 at Fratello's, and it's just always a great time, and it's always packed, and everybody's always just jamming and having fun. So full band setup. It's going to be great.
Cool.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And when you guys got something going on, please come back.
Oh, we will.
Absolutely.
Just come back, get an album or something, and this has been fun.
Yeah, hopefully the next
Great.
time we're on the show, we'll reveal the album. So
That would be great.
that'd be cool.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Give me the
Have you ever had that? Have you ever had somebody
exclusive.
like
the exclusive.
do the exclusive album drop on the
I've
air?
had a couple exclusives here and there.
That's great.
I like more.
You had my cousin's band on here after they did their album, Not Robots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
ended up going on to win a Sammy Award.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
Yep.
great.
Yep.
I love that album.
yeah, they're great.
It's good.
Great band.
Good album.
I'm a gear nerd and Not Robots.
is he.
Like, Not Robots, the guitar player's just got like a gazillion amplifiers and I'm just drooling.
I
Like
think
the
I
whole
might have
time.
talked at the last gig they played down at State Bridge Collective, a friend of ours' place, and there was we were watching them play, and I think I might have talked the guitar player's ear off for much too long because that look where it's like, bro, I've been holding a pee for 10 minutes since I got off stage, and you're still talking.
Still
to me about
talking
my
to me, right? Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, dude. I get you. Yeah.
I was telling him because he's a gearhead as well.
Oh my God, I can't stop.
And so
Yeah.
I was telling him when I go on the road, I'm always sending you pictures of pedal boards.
That's what I ask you. Like, when you go to this other, I go, I need pictures of the pedal. I need updated pictures because, like I'm like the guy that, most guys will be like, "Oh, cool, football's coming on this Sunday." Here I am, staring at my phone, going, waiting for the new YouTube video to drop for Premier Guitar on the
Yeah,
Big
right.
Rundown. I'm like,
so you have kids, right?
I got one. Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep.
so a lot of times kids they'll hear a commercial from Nickelodeon and you'll see them walking around and it's playing in the background and they'll just be regurgitating they've seen it enough times.
Yeah.
I do that with Rig Rundown.
Rig Rundown. Yeah.
I just put Rig Rundown on when the wife's working. I got Rig Rundown. I'm walking around the house. I'm regurgitating the pedal lineup.
Oh yeah. The only thing is I can't stand John Bollinger.
Yeah.
I cannot stand him. I mean, he's got the perfect haircut. He's all like thin and shit.
totally, dude.
Yeah, like, hey, yeah, man,
right.
And the guy's saying to him, and he's like, yeah, so this pedal right here, it makes it so when it delays back through itself, and then you can run a wet rig on this, straight through this pedal. He's like, yeah, man. So what you're saying is that you could do almost a wet rig, right, straight through the pedal, right? And the guy's like,
You just repeated what I said.
like he wasn't even fucking paying attention. I'm like, dude, when somebody slapped this guy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's the weirdest guy for
Oh,
interviews.
he's so weird. They used to have kids. They used to have
The younger interns
and stuff doing it. And I was I
that
enjoyed
more.
that. Like they were legit excited. I get to interview this great guitarist. He could have been their hero. And oh, look at this gear. It's just great. And they were excited about it. John Buller just like, yeah, man. What do you think of my hair?
Yeah.
Is it good? Does my hair look good? You think I'm good? Oh yeah, wet, dry, wet. Couple other jargon. Yeah, okay. All right, great. Thank you. It's so great to be here. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
It's like, oh yeah, that's a good pedal.
Yeah.
Great. We're gonna go talk to the bass player now. See you later.
Awesome. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming today, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hey,
Catch up with
It
you.
was
for
good.
having us.
Good
Great
catching
to
up
meet
with
you,
you.
Definitely.
Linda.
Definitely great to
Good
meet you.
hanging
Keep
out.
us in the loop when you got some stuff going on. And
Right on.
yes, also got to give a shout out to the sponsors. Thank you to EJA Moving Service. Thank you to Billy the Liquor Guy. Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. Got to give a shout out to Utica Coffee. My attorney, Dave Longaretta. Also, my friends over at Saranac. Ballsy. Got to give a shout out to Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount. And also
still
give
waiting.
a big shout out to Chilling with the Rick for we're doing a little co-op over here.
Yeah.
So,
We're coming for you, Rick.
yeah, make sure you unmute the mic, Spell.
You should tell.
Unmute the mic.
Next time you talk to Ballsy, just let him know like the amount of advertising we do for him.
Oh, I have.
Just let him know.
I'll tell you after we're done.
Okay. All right. I dig.
You guys have a good day. Later.
Peace.
Thanks.